Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the possibility of us getting an end update, because if you don't know, Mojang is such a huge development team. They have a total of 1,000 developers that are actively working on the game, and since there is a lot of developers, like over 1,000 people working on the game every single day of every single year of every single month, I don't want to say that I feel like some devs. I feel like at Mojang HQ process of two developers. One developers work on the game and updating the game through these drop systems. And then the other team works on a huge update that we used to get once every single year. Because Mojang did say that basically they're still going to be doing the yearly update. They will still be doing the 1 year update, but it will be every 2 years or every 3 years. It won't be as frequently as it once was. It will be every 2 or 3 years we get a update that's as huge as Tricky Trials and all of that, and also the Nether update. I feel like we will get another update. And I think they are working on the end. I think they are working on a end update because really they have, like, for the past couple of years in a row, they have been focusing on the overworld and the overworld only. For example, they entered, like, just this year alone, they introduced the happy. I guess the happy gas is a introduction to the Nether, but it's also a introduction to the overworld as well. So it's kind of updating both a little bit. But Spring to Life, along with this copper drop, is introducing a lot of new features that are to update the overworld. And just within the past 5 years in a row, they have 5 or so years in a row, they have been updating overworld like crazy and nothing else. They've been giving us new structures like the Deep Dark, the Ancient City. They updated the world generation for the overworld like crazy. They basically introduced new biomes for the cave biomes. They gave us new biomes that generate on top of mountains. Like, they've been updating the overworld like crazy, but they haven't, and it just makes the overworld a lot better than the end and the Nether. I know the Nether still is amazing. The Nether still is amazing after the Nether update, but I would really love a end update too. And I think next year or the following year, either 2026 or 2027, we will 100% get a huge update to the game again, because they said every 2 or 3 years, and this is marking 2 years since, or a year since, the Tricky Trials update. The Tricky Trials was our last big, huge update, and that I believe came out last year, June of last year. So it's been at least a year or so since the Tricky Trials update, and we have now been on this drop system for a full year now, or we're about to be. And I would love it if we could actually get the end update or a huge update next year or 2027. I 100% think it's going to be 2027, because I don't think we're going to get a huge update in 2026, because they said every 2 or so years, and 2027 will be 3 years since the Tricky Trials, and I think that's just a lot better to do it. So yeah, because you can see here, like, here's everything we've been getting recently, and it's just is overworld things, not Nether, not the end. The end just looks crazy. Like, the end looks bare compared to the Nether and the overworld. I don't know if, and Mojang did say that they're not going to update the end until they basically update the overworld and update the Nether, and are pleased with the Nether and also the overworld. Once you're pleased with these two dimensions and these two things, then they will work on the end. And I believe since since the main development team has now finished and has now updated the overworld like crazy, I think it's not too far off to thinking that we might actually get a end update or a big huge update in 2027 because, well, that would mark a long time since we got a huge update. And I think, and they can definitely do a drop and also a huge update since they have like over 1,000 employees. I can definitely do a huge update plus a drop. They can do that definitely in the same year. They can, since they have like over 1,000 employees working on the game for both Java and Bedrock. And we've seen that proven because Bedrock, while the Java devs were on break and were on the summer vacation, the Bedrock devs were not on vacation and they were still working, and they introduced the Copper Golem, they introduced the Shelf, they introduced the Lightning Rod changes, they introduced a lot of cool things while the Java devs were on break and their summer vacation. That's why I'm thinking that they can do it, because the Bedrock team was able to introduce a lot of good changes in the latest previews and were able in that amount of time to introduce so many features into the game. And plus, these features that we've been getting in these drops have been things that can very easily be introduced into the game. Like, these additions and changes in the latest drops are things that are very easy to develop into the game, that just require a retexture, remodel, or just a little bit of lines in code then and there. Like, these have been features that, like, Spring to Life was just adding in cow variants and adding in a couple of new vegetation blocks, and those can very easily be introduced into the game. Because for the pig cow variants, you just have to retexture them. It's not that much work to do it. It's not really that much work to retexture a cow and pig and have it spawn in a certain biome. Like, that Spring to Life wasn't that hard of an update to code in. Then we have Chase the Skies. Chase the Skies basically was, I know it wasn't a huge update. It wasn't a huge update because it just added in the Happy Ghast, the Gas Link, the Dry Ghast, and that's it. I know it added in craftable saddles. It added in craftable saddles along with better lead craft recipe, and all those things can very easily be introduced. The Garden Awakens with the creaking was the only one that basically took forever to basically, so the creaking, so PAIL because if we do that, so we grab this and the creaking heart, game rule do mob spawning true. There you go. Like, their creaking was a hard mob to introduce because they had to introduce a new line of code. They had to introduce a code that detects when the player is looking at it and not looking at it, that detects the player is in creative or not. Like, there's just a lot of things that had to be overcome for the Garden Awakens drop that made it more complicated to add in. But the drops after that, like the drops we got this year so far, were drops that were easy to code in. That was like very easy to code in, such as the pig and cow variants, Those didn't take that long to introduce into the game. I love the creaking. The creaking is still a cool mob. I still love it. It's such a fantastic mob. But yeah, my point is that basically these drops have been like just very easy additions that Mojang can just introduce. These drops just add in things that are just very easy to code in because it saves them time, and this also just holds us off until the other development team are ready with the features for the next big huge update that they can start marketing and pushing out there to Java snapshots and Bedrock betas and previews. And I think within the next 2 years or 3 years, we're going to be getting a huge update, and it might consist of the end update because really they have been updating everything else in Minecraft like crazy with the drop system. Like Mojang gave us a whole new mount with the Happy Ghast. The Happy Ghast the Happy Ghast gave us the new ability to fly before the Elytra. And it allows us to build. The Happy Ghast also allows us to build in the sky. That never was possible before. Hi buddy. Hi. Like building in the sky was never possible until the Happy Ghast. The Happy Ghast made building in the sky possible, and building it in very cramped and very weird spaces possible because you can just ride him. And you can while you're riding him, you can place blocks still in the sky or on your build that's high up, and that can be very useful, and it has been. And I love the Happy Ghast. It's such a cool addition. And I think within the next 2 years, we're going to 100%, or even 3 years, 100% going to be getting the end update or a huge update that's going to be focusing on one part of the game and updating that like crazy, like the Nether update or like the update aquatic. Like just like those updates, I think we're going to get one of those in the next 2 or 3 years because something's just telling me in my gut we will get that, and it will happen. Something's just telling me it will eventually happen. It's just taking time to develop those features because they want it to be Mojang wants it to be worth the wait. And so they're introducing these cool features that doesn't fit a update. Like I feel like these drops are to like release stuff they already have done and polished out as fast as possible because you do not want to be waiting a whole year for a update that you then don't like. That's not your style. These drops are to like just push out stuff that they have done that is polished enough for a Java snapshot and Bedrock preview and beta. And we've seen it time and time again. These drops can consist of the most random things, like the shelf. The shelf is one of the randomest things we were not expecting in the game. We were not expecting the copper golem and all the copper stuff in the game. We were not expecting this fall drop to be all about copper and the shelf. We were not expecting that. That tells you that the drop can just have one of the most randomest features ever. Like these drops can consist of random features that wouldn't be implemented at all if it wasn't for the drop system. So I just wanted to talk and ramble about that because, well, I just wanted to give my feedback and my opinion after watching. Huge shout out to Sam.exe. He's the one that inspired me to make this video because, well, after watching this video, I wanted to make my video talking about this, how I think we're going to get an end update because, well, I think these drops are just to keep us busy and playing the game until the other devs behind the scenes are done and have the features ready for snapshots, previews, and betas. So, yeah, that's why I think they have this drop system in place, is that so that these features can hold us off. These features can hold us off until the other side of the devs that are secretly working on a huge update are ready and are actually ready to announce and are ready to push out this huge update into testing, into public testing. That is into public testing. So through the snapshots and Bedrock previews and betas. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, give my opinion and ramble about it because I think it's a really cool, interesting topic to be talking about because, well, it's been like a full year now since Tricky Trials came out. When did Minecraft version 1.21 come out? So 1.21 was the Tricky Trials update. Hold on, guys. ChatGPT. Or turn off the internet. Yeah, June 13th of last year. So it's been a full year now without a full release, without a big huge update. So next year we'll be marking 2 years, and then the year after that we'll be marking 3 years. So I think by 2027, 100% we're going to be getting another huge update because by then they would have had to had something behind the scenes, something huge coming up. Like they have to have something by 2026 or by next year or by 2027. They have had to have something behind the scenes cooking because these updates they have been doing lately do not at all take that much to develop. These recent drops do not take that much time at all to develop. Like this fall copper drop didn't take that long to develop because it was mostly just retextures of stuff. It was a retexture of the lantern. Of course, I'm on the full release, but it was mostly a retexture of the lantern, torches, and all of that. Like all the new copper stuff, is just all retextures of already existing features. Like these are just already existing features I just retextured and remodeled and all of that. And I think it's cool how we're still getting these copper stuff, but these drops do not take that long at all to basically release and to put into the game. Like these drops take not that much development time at all, which means that gives them time to work on a huge update. Also, since these updates do not take that much time at all to develop and release, that means that basically they have way more development time to develop and think of huge updates they can do within 2 or 3 years apart from each other. Since these updates do not take that much time at all, like the retextured cows, the retextured pigs, and all of that, and chickens. They didn't do like the pigs and chickens and cows. They do not take that much time at all to retexture and to release. Like all the things that got retextures and stuff do not take that much time at all to introduce into the game. Like it's pretty easy to implement, to introduce all these features. And since I think that they have been, and I personally think, and I feel like, I just something's something in me just tells me that they're working on something behind the scenes that's gonna be worth the wait. Because just mark my word, it's gonna be worth the wait, and it's going to be amazing. Because, well, really, they are working on something behind the scenes. I believe that, and I think that whatever it is that they're working on is going to be worth the wait. Since I have over 1,000 employees working on the game every single day, of every single year, of every single month. Like, they have Mojang is one of the biggest development teams out there, and I believe they have splitted their development team in half. Half of them are working on the drops, and half of them are working on the full update that will release 2 or 3 years apart from each other. That's what I feel like they did. They split their development team in half to work on a huge update and to work on the drops. Since the drops are going to be for each major season of every single year. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. That's 4 updates per year, with a lot of cool features and all of those drops, all 4 of those drops, have 3 months each of development time. 3 months, 4 drops with 3 months development time each. 3 months of development time for each drop, and that's not. I guess that's a long time, but it's not really compared to a full year update. But I think Mojang is definitely working on something, and I'm going to end the video here because I've rambled on long enough about this. I've talked about this long enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, because we're halfway there to 500 subscribers. We're halfway to 500 subscribers, and if we can hit 500 subscribers by this month alone, that would be pretty much appreciated. So please make sure you do subscribe if you are new, because that would be pretty much appreciated. But that's it. See you guys in my next video. So take care, guys. Peace.